Hey guys, this is Da here with Gaming, coming at you through Geeks and Jocks. And today what I would like to talk about is TCGPlayer pricing. So we're going to talk about three things. First off, why shipping is always a part of TCG pricing, what market price is, and what listed price is. Now first off, let me go and tell you guys what selling on TCG is like from the seller's perspective. I have a bunch of cards. I go ahead and upload the list of that cards onto TCGPlayer. And TCGPlayer will actually have an app that I can go and download that will automatically price the cards that I list at a cent or two below what the lowest sort of listed price on TCGPlayer is. This is a very good app because it allows me to go ahead and always price my cards competitively so that I know that they're going to sell the first. Now, how TCGPlayer goes ahead and lists its cards is that, if you guys haven't noticed, it always lists the price of the card plus shipping together. So a 50-cent card with 50-cent shipping is going to be $1, and that is going to be listed lower than the 99-cent card with no shipping. And so even though some prices might show lower because shipping is included or not included or whatnot, you always want to go ahead and take the total price of the card because that is what TCGPlayer actually uses when it's ranking the card prices. Now that out of the way, let's go and talk about card prices as a whole. There's two kinds of prices. There's the market price of a card, and then there's the listed price of a card. Now, the market price of a card is going to be the average of all copies of that card that have been sold from the market from the most recent past. I don't know what the exact sort of time frame that it looks back at, but it goes in and looks back at all the ones that have been sold, and it takes an average out of that. And so the market price is always going to be relatively the more sort of stable price of the card. The listed price is going to be the price that you actually see on market. So it's going to be the actual price in which, if you wanted to buy a copy of the card, you can buy a copy of that card for that price at this very moment. Sometimes these two prices can be very different. We're going to see that very frequently now because, number one, there's been multiple new set releases, and also sometimes there have been buyouts of specific cards as well. So how is this reflected in set releases? Well, first off, we're always going to see that in a set release initially there is no product and a lot of hype, and so prices are going to be pretty high. Then as more and more product goes on the market and more people buy it at lower rates, the price of it is always going to go down. And so for a lot of pre-release and sort of what I would say hot items, you're always going to go and see that the market price is probably going to be a little bit higher than the listed price because it's going down in price in general. Eventually, as it starts to sell and the market price and listed price starts to even out, that's when you know that the price of the card is starting to stabilize. Now, this also works conversely with buyouts. We've seen it very frequently, I know from Magic, but I'm sure you've always seen it from other games as well, where one card will be $5 one day and then jump up to $15 the next day. How do buyouts happen? Well, when you go and you buy out a card, you're going to go and buy out all of the listed prices or listings of the card at a certain price and only leave cards with listing above a certain price remaining. And so what you're going to go and see is you're going to see this card that has a market price of $5, but the only listed price on it is $15, $20, because those are the only copies that remain on the market. And unless somebody other than the person who bought out the card puts more copies on the market, that's probably what the new price of the card is going to be at. So those are always two things to keep in mind of why listed and median prices can be so different. Now, which one do you want to use? When you're trading, it's always a very good idea to go ahead and use the market price. The market price is more stable, like I said, and it's a general average of everything that has been sold for the card, and so it is a very safe value to trade the card at whatever value. However, if you're buying cards, a lot of times you want to go ahead and match the lowest price. Especially here at Gaming, I'm always sort of willing, especially for higher market price cards, to go ahead and look at the listing pricing of a card for you and go and match that, because sometimes it can be very different. So if you're paying cash money for a card, always go and take a look to see if the listed price is very different from the market price, because you might actually be able to buy it for a lower price. And that's basically the main things that I want to cover as far as TCGPlayer pricing is concerned. David will go and do the Spanish translation really soon. Thank you guys very much.